Alright, today is Tuesday, July 7th, and let's go check on the garden. Here is the blueberries. Here's the other set of blueberries, and you can see that a lot of berries on there, and they're still green. Some lettuce. And then as you can see, we tied up our pea plants with some string to help them climb up the fence a little better, and won't be long, we'll have to add some more. Lettuce is phenomenal. Cucumbers on there. More lettuce. And then this little batch of cucumbers is doing really good. Here's some dill and a little bit of cucumbers again. A little bit of dill. The cucumbers are phenomenal. This side, they're still doing good. And then a lot of spinach there. Looks like it's about to go to seed. And then just slowly waiting on all of this to grow. Cucumbers and the spinach. Beans in both boxes are looking really good. I think right there and right there is the spots for all of the flowers, so it won't be long and we'll be able to pick beans once these guys start flowering. Here is the squash. This is looking awesome, and as you guys can see, it is starting to grow out. Squash usually gets pretty big and messy, and yeah, you can see it's getting on. It's about to touch the other box. Here's the carrots. Just about one more time thinning them, and then they will be pretty much ready just to grow. Beets are looking awesome on that side. This side, not so much. I was watering yesterday and I noticed that there's a little head on a couple of them in here. Tomatoes are just about as tall as their cage. And then the romaine lettuce we've eaten a lot of salads and stuff. And we're slowly giving a little bit of this to the chickens here and there. And there is the other two tomatoes. Raspberries are looking awesome on both sides. I really do hope that we get a lot of raspberries because I love raspberries. To make a raspberry pie, or just a little bit of raspberries, a little bit of milk, and a little bit of sugar, and you're perfect. So there you go. That is the new update on the garden. Friday, July 10th, and look at the flowers and the beans. Monday, July 13th, and let's check up on the garden. Here's the blueberries. Here's the other little patch of blueberries. We've actually eaten a couple blueberries off of them. I want to pick some of this lettuce for the chickens. A little bit of peas. The peas actually have some flowers on them right now. Lettuce is good, and then the cucumbers on both sides. Lettuce and cucumbers, they're all growing out and getting really long. Same as the dill right here. A little bit of dill. The cucumbers are doing phenomenal on both sides of the fence. We finally pulled out that little bit of spinach we had there. The cucumbers again. There's just a little bit of spinach that I'm going to slowly give to the chickens too. Cucumbers are awesome. All of the bean plants have a bunch of flowers on them, as you can tell, so it won't be long, and we'll be picking beans in both boxes. Beets are looking good, and so is that raspberries right there. Look how big some of those beets are. Those are getting pretty big. Squash is starting to take over the garden right there. The leaves are really huge, and yeah, they're taking our little walkway here. And right here, they're all the way over here, and they're crawling around. Carrots are good. They're finally majority of the way thinned out, probably one more time, and then yeah, they're just little baby ones right now. Tomatoes are looking good. I actually just saw some tomatoes in here. Right here, here's a couple green tomatoes. A little bit of romaine lettuce left, not much. A little bit of lettuce, and then we picked all of that romaine lettuce for the chickens, and they're loving it. Here's some tomatoes still. You can see right in here that there's a couple tomatoes on there. Raspberries are looking awesome. We've probably picked about 2 bowls out of them, so probably about 3 cups out of them so far. And yeah, there you go. That is the new update on the garden. Today is Monday, July 27th, and let's go check on the garden. So this is what the garden looks like. The squash took over the entire aisle. So far, we've eaten a crap ton of raspberries in this patch and in this patch. Beets, we actually picked a good chunk of them, and then we actually replanted some of them because we rethinned them. And for a little while there, they were kind of laying down, kind of like pouting in a way. And then now they're all perking up again, which I think is pretty cool. Both beans are doing pretty good. We've picked a lot of them. Picked and canned a lot of them. Lots of tomatoes in here so far. We are trying to replant some lettuce because we used all of it. Little cherry tomatoes, there's a whole bunch of them in here. It's kind of what the inside of our carrots look like. Carrots are doing phenomenal. The squashes too, you can see there's a little squash there. The squash has flowers everywhere. It's even way up top of there. It's going all the way around. There's lots of squash everywhere. There's a good one down there. It's out of the garden over here. Looks like we might have to pick beans tonight. We got a couple long ones so far that I've been seeing. Cucumbers are doing awesome. Dill is looking pretty good too, nice and tall. The cucumbers have lots of flowers on them. There's a cucumber right there. The peas are doing awesome. As you can see, there's some peas right here. Here's the squash. These ones are a little bit bigger. Like you got that one, it's pretty big. That one's about the size of a softball. That one's about a little bit bigger than a golf ball. That one's doing good. That one's probably our biggest one right there. Blueberries are doing really good. We still have a lot of yellow ones and lots of blueberries on there. All right, and then that is the new update on the garden. I'm gonna go eat some raspberries. Alrighty, today is Tuesday, August 4th, 2026, and let's go check on the garden. As you can see, that is our middle path, and it's pretty hard to water because the squash pretty much took over the entire aisle, and the cucumber's kind of on that end too, and everything is looking pretty awesome. So to begin, raspberries, we've picked a lot of them, and they're pretty much done for the year because they're starting to get wormy, and we've also eaten a lot of them. Right here, this is where the beets were. They're all gone, so this is one less box to water. These two tomatoes ain't got much going on yet. We're trying to regrow some lettuce, and so far it's working. These tomatoes ain't got much going on yet either. You can kind of see that there's a couple in there, little red cherry tomatoes. So far we've eaten 4 of them. Both bean boxes are doing awesome. We just canned 6 pints yesterday, and they're about to be done for the season. I think that we're gonna have one more pickin', and then the next pickin' will be a pick and pull. So you just pull the plant and pick what beans are good, and then put the other plant in the compost. Carrots are doing awesome. They're about 4 inches long. I've picked a couple and eaten a couple, but then there's also a couple in there that's pretty tiny yet. Squash, as you can tell, it's all the way over here, and it's taken up the entire garden. It's all the way over here, all the way over there towards the blueberries, and it's sticking out of the garden quite a ways. The cucumbers, we have picked lots of them. Dill is doing awesome on both sides. And you can see the squash is all the way up on top of there. Cucumbers are looking pretty good. Yeah, here's where that squash is. A little bit of lettuce we're trying to grow. We just kind of pulled the plants of the peas over here because there's only 2 plants. Cucumbers, and then we've also eaten a lot of peas. Won't be long, those will be done for the year. Here's some squash. There's another one there, another one in there. There's another pretty big one right here. Another little one there, lots of squash inside of here. And This is a pretty big one. This, I personally think, is the biggest squash we have. We have that one. And then we have this guy pretty hidden in there. That's bigger than a softball. Blueberries are doing awesome this year. We've picked lots, and as you can see, there's lots of pink ones on there yet, so plan on getting a lot more of them. We just picked yesterday. Blueberries. This is probably our best plant yet. Yeah, it won't be long. The beans will be taken out. This box will be empty. The raspberries are done. The peas will be done. Cucumbers will be shortly after that. Then it'll just be the little bit of blueberries, which those will be done shortly. Squash. Carrots ain't long. Tomatoes. And then won't be long, and then it'll be winter time here. Alrighty, so there you go. That is the new update on the garden.